something happening here.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Days of Thunder. Today's topic, truth. Many people claim that truth is at the uppermost tier of what is important to them, but I've come to find out as time has gone on that most people are not really interested in the truth, and in fact, the truth upsets them. I've referenced this scene before, but the scene from They Live where Roddy Piper tries to get Frank, Keith David's character, to put the Hoffman lenses on. Thereby, he's able to see and verify everything that Piper's character is saying. But what ensues is a 7-minute long fight, very famous. But what I find interesting about that scene is the links to which people will remain willfully ignorant. Because for most people, they're not interested in the truth unless it serves their own end. And oftentimes the truth doesn't do that, because the truth is what it is, whether we want to acknowledge its validity or not. What I've found is that a lot of people come to an impasse. Now, I don't think most people go seeking the truth out. In some sense, I think they do, but I think they do it in order to validate what they already believe. And many of them are awestruck of what they find is so opposite what they had originally thought. They find that the truth does not validate what they had always assumed to be true. And think about all the things you're told throughout your life by different people, parents, teachers, media. I think it's of the utmost importance that even, something you hear as a child from a parent must be questioned. I think ultimately you must question everything and be the authority on what it is you do and do not believe. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one that's going to be honest enough with yourself to really determine the reality or the truth of things with no bias. Just think of all the things you're taught as a kid. Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, this, that, and the other. Now, these are all childish, kind of small things, but I think ultimately you have to call everything into question and start from the ground up and determine from your own experience and from your own findings whether these things that you've been taught since a young age are true or not. And oftentimes you'll find that many of those things were not true at all. But back to the point of, I don't really think people seek truth out, in that I don't think they really seek the absolute truth out, the unfiltered, unadulterated truth. Again, they seek out what is going to bolster what they already feel or believe. And so those that do that, and then those that inadvertently run into the truth, which that also happens as well, you're at an impasse, because you have three choices. You can either move forward in the new light that you've been given as it pertains to the truth, or you can let it crumble and dash your world and almost metaphorically curl up in a ball and just see your entire world torn down. Or you can take it as a new beginning and or you can look at it as a moment where you were faced with reality, but you've decided to persist in your delusion. And most people, I believe, do the third option, which is to persist in what is comfortable and what brings them meaning and comfort and a sense of, well-being and safety. Most people do not move forward in the truth, although there are those that do. But as I've said, Bill Hicks has a good bit about this in one of his stand-ups, where he talks about, these different figures that Gandhi and Jesus and others who almost, they went up to the mountain and they got all these great and wonderful things and had these realizations and epiphanies, and then they went and told other people about it, and the immediate reaction was to shut them up and to kill them. And we can't be letting this sort of thing go unfettered, So there you are. People do not, though they may say that the truth is paramount and of utmost importance, most people, when confronted with it, are going to continue to persist in what they've always thought, um, or at least try to do so. And there's a lot of cognitive dissonance with that. So that's the thing that I think sets us apart when you begin to talk about MGTOW and red pill and all these other side disciplines, that we're willing to look at the reality of things, take that, and move forward in it. I have a friend right now who is kind of going through this with a relationship. He's never really had a serious relationship. It's his first girlfriend and all this. And I knew immediately that eventually it was going to not go so well for him. He's already talking about engagement, and he's only maybe known this girl a few months, and they've only dated a few months. And I'm thinking, this guy just. I mean, I knew it was coming, and inevitably it did. It did come. And so he kind of briefly spoke to me about it, and I tried to point him to some things I thought he might find of interest, and he seemed a very I don't know, just was very gruff about it, and was just really put up a lot of resistance to it. So my response was, well, when you're ready to know the truth, and I mean the truth about everything, because now I've been studying these things, religion, relationships, this, that, or the other now for a decade or more, and I have a lot of experience as well as intellectual knowledge about it, which is just as valuable, if not more so. So I told him, when you're ready for the truth about it all, get in touch with me, because right now he's still in this fairy tale world of well, it'll work out, this, that, and the other, and I don't think he really realizes the Pandora's box has now been opened. So, but this is just an example of people putting resistance up. I mean, deep down somewhere, I know he thinks. I'm sure he probably realizes the truth of it, but he is continuing to rationalize with himself that maybe things will be different. Maybe it's not like this. But I think when you finally come to the reality of things, it's very liberating. It hurts at first, but it's very liberating, because then you can go on and live your life with good information about things, and it saves you a lot of problems in the long run. The truth is going to be what it is. It's not there to comfort you. You can look at a mountain and call it by any other name, refuse to acknowledge that it's a mountain, but at the end of the day, it's a mountain. And regardless of what you think or say about it, changes nothing. And we find this happening in our society now. Black is white, white is black, good is evil, evil is good, and we want to, well, if I think this, or if I feel that, or if I label this or label that, that somehow it changes things, but it doesn't. I mean, the reality still persists, and the truth is the truth, and it'll stand when even the world's on fire. And so with that, I leave you with thoughts on the importance of seeking out the truth with an open mind, not letting your biases get in the way of what is there, because truth will be sifted out when it's all said and done. And thank you again for joining the podcast, and we'll do another show when we get another chance. Probably we'll continue to persist forward with this theme of truth, because there's quite a bit more I could say about all that. And so it is with this that I bid you farewell. As always, you're free to do what you're told, and this has been John Nada in the Days of Thunder.